Now watch him go. This is the fun bit now, because the limit from here outwards is 30 nautical miles. As long as you're fishing within 30 nautical miles of the entrance to Brighton Marina, you're in the competition. It's fabulous. Look at these boats go. This is when it starts to get exciting. We've come straight out south from Brighton, 28 nautical miles, to a little patch of wrecks. We're over a big wreck at the moment. We're not quite up to the wreck yet. And it's always exciting, the first drop of the day. You never know if there's going to be any fish down there. But I've dropped down to just to hit the bottom now. I'm fishing with a natural coloured sand eel imitation. It's got a little bit of lead in the head. And with the lead heads, you can work them a bit slower than the classic red gill lures, the original Eddystone eels with no weight in them. With a little bit of weight in the head, the paddle tail works really hard. And hopefully there's fish down there and they're hungry. We're on top of it now. Stop showing us all up. This is classic flying collar fishing. I've got about 15 feet of 30-pound mono tied onto the end of my braid, and then a boom coming off of that. Quite a long trace, about 10, 11 feet. And then the artificial lure, in this case sand eel, is tied on the end of that. Drop it to the bottom. When it hits bottom, you start winding up, and like in most kinds of lure fishing, it's all about depth and speed. The fish will want to be sitting at a particular depth, and there'll be a retrieve speed that makes the lure work properly and makes the fish feel that they can catch it. And then they'll chase it, whack into it, and what happens, it just gets gradually heavier and heavier. Just keep winding, and the fish feels the hook, and it will dive to the bottom, and that sets the hook, and then the battle commences. Yeah. There you go. Top man, well done. Just changed from fishing an eel to a shad, and good old Alan next to me said, this drop, this is the one. And I've had a hit, and I think I've got a pout in. That doesn't look right, does it? No good you wriggling now. We've had a good few drifts over the first wreck. It was a little bit disappointing, to be honest. One decent pollock, about 12 pound, a few 5 or 6 pounders, mostly come off the port side. I'm stuck on starboard. All I've had is a pouting and a couple of little taps. We're going to another wreck. There's quite a cluster in this area. Another wreck, only about 5 minutes away. Do much the same thing. The depth's about the same, but we're getting this one on our own. There's no other boat here, so hopefully it'll be thumbs up all round. Paul just said we were about 60 metres short of the wreck, and he marked a school of fish. So we've stopped on them. A couple of people have had hits, and I'm one of them. And I think it's another pouting. That's a nicer colour than the others. Whoa, quick release, I like those.
Hang on. Oh.
Well done, Alan, that's a good one. That's a Barney.
Barney! Took a red gill.
Well, there's certainly a bit more action on this wreck. Alan's already had one knocking 12 pound, and this is my second drop. And it's come off. Oh, I don't believe it. I don't believe it's come off. Oh, that was a serious fish. That took 15 metres of line off the drag. Just have a look, you can see there where he's chewed bits of colour off the lure. Bits of colour missing just behind the hook. That was well on, and now it's well off.
Get in here, but we can't find a big one.
There's three basic kinds of lures when you're fishing this way. One is an artificial sand eel that can be weighted or not. One's an artificial fish that can be weighted or not. They're called shads. And one can be an artificial worm, jelly worms, that usually aren't weighted. You fish those just on a hook, long shanked hook. The shads and the artificial eels have got paddle tails. So as you wind them, the paddle tail vibrates and looks like a swimming fish. Come in various kinds of colours, in fact, all kinds of colours. The current fad colour for this part of the world seems to be rhubarb and custard, which, as you could guess, is sort of an orangey red and yellow. And it does work. Look at that, there is one here. Well, there was one here, yeah.
That's us guys, we're going home.
Funny old day, Alan. I've repeated my performance of 2 years ago when I failed to catch.
You did have a big one on there, mate.
It's a big fish, I tell you.
I know.
Was, yeah.
The one I got took a lot of line, and I saw how yours went, so I know it was a big one.
You had a nice fish, though, 12 pounds.
Yeah, 12 pounders.
Yeah, good.
It's not bad.
Been a few fish caught, though. Weather's been outstanding.
I'm sure there's going to be some big ones at the weigh-in, you know.
Yeah,
I think £15 we've heard on the radio, so. I weighed my 12 pounder just for deciding, so I weighed
Well, exactly, so you
Like
weighed
getting at Europe.
No, I fully understand. Yeah. It's been another terrific day, another lovely competition. All we've got to do now is hand those prizes out.
Yep, that's it.
And the winner, getting the trophy to keep, winning a prize also £300 worth of Daiwa tackle, fishing on the Osprey, fishing £17.3, Dave Dudson. West End. Well done, mate. Good, Amy.